The Cold Corner Podcast.
Okay, so we move ourselves on to our next section.
Wait, actually, Suts, why was Theo Wiley bowling spin? I know he's
yeah. It was kind of over the last few weeks of meeting him and starting the new role and kind of getting to know Theo as a player. It was obviously every time he was kind of looking to bowl seam, I don't think he really enjoyed doing it. He's had a few injury issues with it and kind of taken up off spin over the last kind of month or two at school and what have you. So just had a chat with him and the coaches and what he wanted to do, and he seems quite natural. Shaftab Khalid, who's our off spin coach at Warwickshire, has kind of said he's got some really good natural ability with bowling off spin, and obviously his first game went quite well, and he's really enjoying it, and also hitting lots of bombs at the same time. So lad who hit big sixes and bowls left arm off spin has hopefully got a future. So yeah, a bit of a change from seam to spin, which he probably won't be the first one to do it. So yeah, hopefully wish him all the best and go well with Warwickshire as well as Shifnal this year.
Andy, do Shifnal know that Theo's changed to left arm off spin?
I wouldn't have a Scooby-Doo, actually, to be fair. I think Muzz was talking about him on Saturday, but I didn't really hear anything about him changing his bowling. But as long as he's good, happy days.
Well, the game was
was
live streamed, so
yeah,
he'll know by now.
Yeah, we'll find out now. Yeah, there's all that game. Both the two games this weekend were live streamed, so and they're all footage. So yeah, it won't be a shock to anybody if you watch his 8 overs on Saturday. So yeah, a bit of a change for him, but yeah, wish him good luck.
Yeah, it'd be great.
It's like old Davey Wainwright. Remember that one, Sam, from when he played for Shropshire? You told us that he.
No, I don't think I heard that one.
He got pulled onto a like an EPP program overseas in Asia somewhere, and he so he went over there and they've got, like, given him the new ball, left arm spinner. He's like, "You what?" He's like, "Come on, it's the first game. Open the ball." He's like, "All right, well, keep her up to the stumps, please." And they're like, "Okay, that's weird." He bowled the first ball. And they're like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Bowling." He's like, "No bowl seam." He's like, "Oh, I'm a spinner." They're like, "Well, what's your name?" It's like, "Wainwright." And there's like, "No, Wayne White." They wanted the right arm seamer who played for Cheshire.
Joking.
Fast bowlers program it was, and sent him on a plane home the next day. Wayne White, not Wayne Wright.
I love the fact he just got sent on the plane.
Yeah, off you go.
So excited.
If you've seen Dave, you can't bowl. You wouldn't be able to bowl seam. He
No,
hasn't got the frame, has he?
No.
Well, that was a fun trip. Anyway, so we move ourselves on to our next section and looking at, we're going to look at this weekend's fixtures. So we start in Premier Division 1 and Barnard's Green welcome Berkswell, Hales Owen welcome Nolan Dorridge, Kidderminster travel to Kenilworth Wardens, Moseley are at home to Wolverhampton, Barnt Green travel to Ombersley, and Shrewsbury welcome Smethwick.
Yeah, we'll just have a little laugh because Andy's just pointed out our end of season run of form. If you go, I think we're all looking at it here, and Shrewsbury's just full of red L's.
Yeah,
and Smethwick is just 5 green W's. And you can add another one to that.
It's going to be a good game.
Well, if you lose one, it'll still only be 4 L's.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Can't get any worse.
Hey, we'll see Shifnals in a minute. I saw that this week when I looked through the fixtures. Yeah, we'll change that.
But there is to be fair, there is a team without a win. And it was Hales Home, and it was called off.
Oh, right.
so they could have won that game.
Yeah.
So early thoughts on these fixtures. Do you think that we'll get much cricket in? With the weather that's forecast is the first question, really. And
it's not looking good, is it? There's a lot of rain around this week, but 3 teams did manage to get on if they can keep it dry. I'm sure they'll play, but ours is notoriously a fast drying ground, and we had absolutely zero chance. So, and we're at our place again. So I have no idea if we'll be prepared or able to get on. The outfield looks fine. It's just the square is just so wet and it runs down from that on the slope, goes underneath, comes from underneath, and it's hard to keep it dry when it's already that wet. But Ombersley are at home. I know they've had a similar problem with that bank running down off the bank, all the way down towards the road. They might struggle. Same with Moseley. They've got a big slope. I don't know if they, if they'll have a bit of trouble with that. They have got new wickets there, so and they've had a bit of money spent on from the cricket that went on there last year.
It goes one or two ways with like my club. It's it either flows down or it just like accumulates right at the bottom, and you end up with a really kind of marshy pitch part of the pitch where. I mean, we've been down the club the weekend, and just trying to, and all the cows and all the dog shit, just like sheep swimming up.
No one
still got loads
roller this year.
No, the
They've
roller.
never had a roller.
No, genuinely, the roller is sinking into the floor, so we've had to hire a roller. Welcome to Village Cricket, guys.
Don't you think this time of year, hats off to the groundsman? I know, like this. At Smethwick at the weekend, we couldn't believe we were on, really.
Yeah, I was surprised there were any games on at all.
I mean, it's Shifnal. I went down earlier on and met a couple of the blokes there that I've never met before, working on the ground, getting it ready for a couple of Saturdays' time. And they were saying, like, the obviously the pitch was fine, the hybrids are ready to go, but then, the one half of the ground's just absolutely drenched, and the other half's okay. It's
I mean, we can talk about the timings now. I was talking about it all week. It's 10 years ago, your first game was the first Saturday in May, and that would usually be 1st, 2nd, 3rd of May. It might fall on the last couple of days in April, and then you play the Wilmington on the Sunday. That's usually how the league would start, but we did have the bank holidays, so that was why. But they had to bring the season forward, but we don't push it back into September, even though playoffs are a week after. We finish a week earlier than the Shropshire League every year. Yeah. And they have a great day of weather the week after. But we're starting so early in April, it's not giving. I mean, we have had the wettest March in 40 years, guaranteed. But, it gets increasingly harder for grounds.
Does it ever get brought up at the meetings, though?
I don't know.
Because I've got to be
honest, I guess the hardest thing as well is you've got the county playoffs now. Which,
but you don't need to worry about the playoffs because nothing to do with the league. It obviously is for next season, but you could do the playoffs at the same time as playing league games. But they do play on neutral grounds, don't they? The one game. Is it the last game? Is it?
Final game's neutral.
But like, I mean, obviously you can work that around where clubs are playing anyway, can't you? But like, I'm playing for Grasshoppers for years. We play in Sunday friendlies since I was a little kid. End of the season, beautiful. You know, you could start a game early. I know it is difficult because of all the travelling, but you started a little bit earlier. You don't know what
the weather's going to be like. No. When you do the fixtures the year before, you don't know how it's going to be. But I mean, right now the seasons don't quite match up to our calendar. If you can say it, like, it's a little bit out of sync. Yeah. Whereas the last 2-3 years, I'd say weather's been fine to play through to the back end of September, and the counties play through to the back end of September.
But
it's the light.
I mean, the light's the problem. Yeah, it does get dark very quickly back end of the season.
Counter argument as well is that this time last year I was looking at where your social media reminds you of what's happened in the last year. Like these last 2 weeks, I was having barbecues the last 2 years, so the weather's obviously been good enough. It's just I think obviously this year the April showers have lasted a bit longer than they normally do.
And it's not just the weather; it's the fact that it snows at the back end of February and early March now. So that couple of weeks where the groundsmen haven't got their grass growth and they can't get on to start prepping, that's the time they should be prepping. Like a wicket takes a while to prepare, and everyone's pretty much had a week, if only a few days, to get something ready. I don't know. It's hard to predict what you're going to do, but I do think it is quite early in the year to be playing cricket.
Well, here we are. Shropshire League starts this week as well with their prem, but everyone else starts the week after. And I know one of our first teams who we're playing have contacted us and said, any chance you can do it at yours, because there's no way that we'll have a pitch ready in 2 weeks. It's some sides are struggling more than others, and I think a lot of it's going to be down to how much supporters and members can help out the ground staff in regards to doing anything they can to try and get a game on and having a bit of luck. And you know, grounds like Worfield will probably always get a game on, won't they, Sam? It's
Trees
sand
drink,
based
isn't
and trees and
Yeah.
sand based, isn't it?
We're gravel based and we're absolutely
Didn't
sodden.
get that, did you?
I did, yeah. I was just like, why is he laughing?
5 years ago, I had a net at Wrekin with my dad. He prepared a pitch. It was an absolute road, and he was like, they didn't have a fixture on, so he dog sticked me for a while. I couldn't believe it. It was unbelievable. It was like the second week of March. So, you know, I guess it's luck of the draw, but it does. But then 2 weeks later, we were rained off because it was just too wet. And if anyone goes out of their way to write a song about how it rains in a certain time of year, like April showers, does that not tell you everything you need to know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, cricketers, we're an optimistic bunch. Otherwise, we
Yeah.
wouldn't be turning up and playing cricket every year if we were rational. We'd have just gone, no, I'm shit at it. Well, I'm talking about myself here, not you guys. You've all got good records. So anyway, let's talk about the results that we think that might happen here. So Barnard's Green, Berkswell?
At Barnard's?
At Barnard's, yeah.
Could I just say the Smethwick lads were picking up Barn Green, saying they're going to be a...
What about Barnard's Green?
Well, Barnard's Green would be good as well, but they were picking up...
But that's who we're talking.
That's what we're talking about.
Oh,
We've got a second to talk about Barn Green in a minute.
I'll talk about it in a second.
He played against
Cheers, Andy.
Barnard's Green last year, so
Yeah, they've got
Similar name.
a few new players in, and you know they've got some good young Worcester lads as well. So you know they might surprise a few. They might, and I think they might do quite well at home as well. A lot of clubs won't have played at Barnard's Green, so you know if they can make that place a little bit of a fortress, it would be good. But you know with Barkswell bringing in a couple of players, they're going to be a very, you know, they're always a big side, aren't they?
yeah,
That
they did struggle at the start of last year, but then they picked it up, didn't they? And
You can't underestimate them.
I've got this down as if it goes ahead, one of the games of the weekend. You know, Barnard's Green, a team who finished the season in a
Bill's
good
on the
run of
road
form.
again. Off to Malvern he goes.
Yeah, retired from cricket now. haven't you?
Yeah,
You've
that's
retired,
it.
haven't you?
Yeah.
I
You might
just
as well.
decided, fuck it. I'm
They're
not
a
getting-
great bunch of lads. Oh,
I'll play on the Sunday.
Yeah.
I'll just turn up here and sound like Neil Warnock every week, won't I?
Badger.
Yeah, so
Better than Sean Dyche.
so
that was terrible.
that is awful.
Do it properly. No, not very good at impressions.
Could tell. So yeah, like anyway, as I was saying, that Barnard's Green finishing last season, good run of form, promoted, you know, filled with confidence, and Berkswell didn't have the best of seasons last year, but are looking to probably make a statement with their first game to show that they're back and ready to make a push this season. So I think that's going to be one of the top games. So next game, moving ourselves on, Hales Owen, a side who've got more L's than, well, no, equal L's as Will Shrewsbury. They've
And
just got
Kenilworth.
yeah.
And Kidderminster. Can I just put that out there? It's not justice. Thanks.
Turn up against Knoll and Dorridge, who have 4 W's to their form guide. So, Will and Suts, thoughts on this one? We'll start with Suts, as I haven't heard your voice in a while.
Yeah, I would probably, if I was a betting man, I think K&D with the strength that they've got, and like I said earlier, with the 2 Brooks lads probably turning up. You've got mids to turn up. I don't think Ches played this weekend either, so you add him to the bowling attack with the guys. They've a couple of young batters and Ollie, and obviously AP having a good start. I would say those guys are the favourite. Obviously, Hales Owen's a difficult place to go to, but they've got some good players themselves. But I think if I was having to kind of put my neck on the line, I would say K&D are probably favourites in that one to take the 20 points, I would say.
Yeah, I probably agree. I think you might find there's a lot of people, a lot of pros, a lot of contracted players playing this week because people need their overs. People haven't had time in the middle with the weather, so everyone's going to be turning out for their club. And like you said, the drifting pigeon, pencil him in for a match-winning knock, AP, and yeah, you might have him.
Okay, next game. Next game, a fixture between 2 sides with 4 L's and 1 W. So Kenilworth Wardens welcome Kidderminster. So thoughts on this one, and we'll start this one with Will.
Kenilworth, they finished well, they were pushing for the league going into the last third, weren't they? And then fell off towards the back end of the season. I think we might have just put that down to the experience of the side. They were a young side, but they had such a strong start to last year then, and they've got such talented players, and you probably put them to possibly do it. I mean, it all depends on who turns out for Kidderminster. We're never really sure week to week and who's going to be, but if they have a full strength side, we always say it's one of the best sides in the league. So it all depends on who's available for Kiddie, I'd say. But I reckon it's at Kenilworth, so you probably go with Kenilworth, I'd say.
Sots?
Yeah, I'd probably go again, very similar in terms of Kenilworth. I think obviously they've made a signing, they've signed Pat Brown. Like Will said earlier, I think he might even turn out for them this weekend because of obviously lack of overs. I know that they've got a 4-day game this week, but they might not get anything kind of happening. They've got a young lad, Rory Hayden, who's a young seamer who's looking to impress at Warwickshire. Obviously, they've got that batting lineup that scored all those runs with Henry and Jamie Harrison and Harry Johnson, and they're overseas. I think is coming back, and might even see Jacob Bethel and Josh Baker. Maybe not Jake because he might be playing first team cricket for Warwickshire, but Josh Baker might be playing. So again, I think if they've got all of those guys out, that's a pretty formidable lineup. And even I've missed Tommy Rex there as well. So if they get all those guys out there, then and as Will said earlier, I think, or Sam might have said in terms of Pards being available, I think with his job and everything there, he might play the odd week here and there. But so yeah, I think again, kind of as a betting man, I would say Kenilworth look pretty strong there on paper, and I think if they all turn up, then they'll be a tough side and be pushing for the league again.
Yeah, Kenilworth, one of the sides that we picked on our pre-season previews, one of the sides that we think may do really well this season. So it'll be really interesting to see how well they start off and how strong their side is. As we've mentioned, it could be very strong and a ground that most sides may not want to turn onto this season. Anyway, moving on to the next game, Moseley at home to Wolverhampton, newly promoted, against one of the sides who did really well this season. So this will be quite a good litmus test for Wolverhampton, wouldn't you say, Sam?
Yeah, I mean they dominated the league last year, and if they've kept the same side, I know Charlie's obviously gone to Shifnal, but Felly's playing, and they got their overseas back. I'm not sure. Australian lad who bowled well for them. Young Joe Stanley's a very good cricketer. Yeah, but just looking at their side, I just feel like to go that step further, they may need to bring a few in. I'm not sure who they have brought in. I know there were rumours about Sam Ellis, but I haven't heard that confirmed. But yeah, so
I thought that was confirmed.
I think that's confirmed, mate.
I haven't seen that any transfer.
No, he's gone to Wolverhampton, mate.
So I know I thought that, but I haven't seen it confirmed on anything. No, it's not true unless it's on Twitter. So,
Okay.
So, but yeah, if Sam has gone there, that's a very good sign for them. If he plays every game, so yeah, who are they playing?
Moseley.
Us, what are your thoughts?
They're very well run by Will Neild as well, and he's a very good cricketer himself, and he wins a lot of games for them with the bat.
Cool. So quickly round the chat. One, just pick your team. Who's going to win? Starting with Sam.
Moseley.
Beef.
I'm going to go Moseley.
I'll go Moseley. Yeah.
Suts.
Yeah, also Moseley for me, mate.
I don't know.
All for you, Ozzy.
You're annoyed about that.
Ozzy, where are you?
I was hoping someone to go Wolverhampton.
Well, you haven't voted.
Well, yeah, go on then. I'll go Wolverhampton, but I feel kind of bad.
Come on, Wolves.
Oh, sorry, Ozzy.
All right, cheers. Anyway, next game, Ombersley versus Barnt Green. Now, someone from Osborne,
Barnt Green team.
Ombersley messaged us in the week and saying, Ombersley going under the radar, not being mentioned too much, going under the radar. Are they a stealthy side who are looking to make a push. Do we think that they could be the one? And we'll start this with Will, as he's not taking part in this game.
Okay. We've talked about obviously a lot in the past and on their availability for their side. I can't remember what they've done in terms of signings. Were they particularly active in signings this year? Can we remember?
Off the top of my head, no.
No, I don't. I don't think
me get the
anything
spreadsheet
jumps.
out.
You get the spreadsheet. out. I mean, nothing jumps out to me at the moment. But I mean, I know when they put out a good side, they are a very good side, and they absolutely hammered us at their place last year. And so it all depends on consistency for them. I think if they can put that side out and perform to what they're capable of doing, they'll be up there, you know, in the Sam Whitney fourth position probably, if not higher. But if they have the odd week where all the lads aren't available, then you know they're going to struggle. I'm not sure if they're not going to announce the depth that they brought in the background to support that. When those lads aren't available, if they've got the lads in the twos, if they've got the lads out there on the fringe who can actually come in and keep a strong first team when the big guns aren't there.
Suts?
Yeah, we played them as probably as strong as team twice last year at our place and at theirs, and they were high quality side. And obviously after your comment earlier about what was said on Twitter, Gareth, I hope you're having a lovely bath listening to the podcast, and I hope I'm not sending you to sleep in my chat. So yeah, I've known Gareth a long time. He's a high quality cricketer, obviously an ex-professional at Somerset, Worcester and Hampshire, and he's been a high quality bowler for a number of years. So still got him. I know they've lost Richard Jones. He's moved back to Old Hill, so that'll obviously be a spot that needs filling. But George Panay is obviously a good quality cricketer. I'm not sure they'll have the likes of Haynes and D'Oliveira because it clashes with first-class cricket. Similar with us, we won't have Polly. I don't know if you've heard the breaking news that's come today, fellas, on Instagram about a young player that's come back to Barnt Green.
Oh, do spill.
Well, you must have missed that then.
Go on.
Young Jacques Banton's come back already.
Oh,
Is it really?
Yeah.
One podcast later.
Literally 3 days he's been away and he's back already. So yeah, we've gained.
Norwich then.
How's that transpired?
Well, I think it's very much been there for a few days. Didn't like it and drove back and said he wanted to come back to Barnt Green. We all got told on our group yesterday that he was coming back, and we did have a bit of a sweepstake of when he would come back. I think I predicted May, and that was miles off. So, few of the lads said June and July, but yeah, JB's coming back and will be available for us, I think, by the sounds of it. And it was put all over our Instagram page, so it's not used. If selected, yeah. I did say you should start in the twos. After
yeah, it's great to have you back, mate.
Yes.
Work your way up.
You could sign the threes on Saturday up the road, mate. But yeah, I think they are a good side, and they do go under the radar a little bit. They've got some good cricketers, and again, obviously we'll see how the weather kind of pans out in terms of how dry it will be, but I'm sure it'll nibble around if we get a bit of cricket. So, but I'm still backing us with strength aside to hopefully get a win in the first week.
Good stuff. And final game in Division 1 is going to be rained off. It's Shrewsbury versus Smethwick.
Yes,
so no need to talk about it. And we move ourselves on to Division 2. So in Division 2, I'm only joking. Go on, Will. Shrewsbury.
You want me to talk about them, I suppose? It's gonna be a tough one, I think. Smethwick winning again, making it God knows how many in a row that they've won now. Still one of the strongest, if not the strongest side in the league. Come up to them first game, it's going to be really tough. I know that one of the biggest thing for us going into this season is consistency. We bowl a lot of good balls and then a lot of bad balls, so that lets us down a little bit. We bowl 4 guns and then a wide and a 4 ball. Generally, how the season went, each over as we went through. Get yourself into a good position and then bowl ourselves out of a good position. And the same with the bat. So just a little bit more consistency for us. they kind of put us in a place, a little bit of their place last year.
Yeah.
I can't remember how the home fixture went, to be honest, but yeah, it's just going to be a tough game. Isn't it? It's
Beef.
going to be a very tough game.
You faced some Smethwick recently. What do you think?
Well, obviously, I'm not too sure whether that was their complete first team or not, but I thought they looked a fantastic team with a lot of depth. I was saying before, stupidly, when I thought Barnet Green were Barnard's Green, that I spoke to a few of the hierarchy at Smethwick at the weekend. Just had a little chat with them, doing a bit of digging like you do, trying to be one of the podmen, And I just said, what do you reckon for the season? Do you tip yourselves to win it? And they said, it's going to be very, very tough to retain this season. I said, who are your tips for pushing you for the title this year?
Well done, mate.
And they come up with 3 names. They said they said Barnet Green, Kenilworth, and K&D. That's what they said they were worried about.
There you go.
Listen to the pod, haven't they? They've been listening to the pod.
They have, haven't they? and they said
you heard it there second.
And they said all the rest of the teams will finish 4th. So they definitely listen to the podcast, Sam.
I know we've got quite a strong side available, so
should be a good game.
Might be a pretty good game.
They look a very good.
I'm back in Shrewsbury this year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like
new captaincy, new era, bit of change.
Steady on.
Let Will.
I did all the hard work. All right, now you lads go and win it and make me look stupid.
let Will off his leash a little bit, I think, and I think you can see a big year from Parton. I think this year.
Off my leash.
Yeah, because he was really conservative, I reckon, with the bat.
Stand and deliver. We did. We did ask.
I only left a ball.
Yes, I did actually.
We
made the papers.
we did interview some players, which will come to light in a bit, and we asked them for their favourite Birmingham League players, and one of them went, "Who's that lad who opens for Shrewsbury? Long hair, swings at it, left-hander." It's like, I wonder. But yeah, so who are we going for, Suts?
I'm going to have to go for Shrewsbury then. I think, like I say, change of. Is Gaz going to be playing this weekend for you, Will, or you do not know yet?
I'm out the loop, mate. You'll have to ask the captain.
Oh,
yeah.
George
No idea.
Hargrave available for you this season? Or?
Yeah. George is going to be available 3/4 of the season, I think.
That's good.
Fantastic.
That's good.
Yeah,
news.
That's huge.
That's massive. Swifty, is he available?
I believe so, yeah. If he finds his keeping gloves. He sent me a message, "Am I keeping gloves in your bag?" I was like, "I don't know, they're your keeping gloves." And he goes, well, I haven't got them. I was like, "How'd you lose your keeping gloves?" He messaged me every week, "Are my keeping pads still in your bag?" Yes, they're still in my bag, Swifty.
After all that he was given last episode about keeping kit. But the reason he's not on tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is because he's gone to pick up new kit. So,
is that right? Because he's new pair of keeping gloves, probably.
Got to get
When was
new
the
kit.
last pod he was on?
Literally the last one, mate.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, you missed it.
You're a
Good to know you listen.
The solo clips.
Might have to listen to that one. Oh shit! Yeah.
Damning indictment for the podcast. Anyway, Andy, who's winning, Smethwick or Shrewsbury?
I don't know anything. I didn't listen to the last pod. I don't know. I'm gonna back Shrewsbury. 'Cause they're my mates. No, I got to, ain't you?
You
Nothing
can't
against Smethwick.
because people will start. Right, Sam, give us some hard insight. Who's going to win?
Shrewsbury.
You asked him already. You asked him first.
Oh, did I?
My
And you've
hometown.
asked us.
Suts, Will, Shrewsbury. Fantastic.
Smethwick.
So
I'm
I'm
gonna
going to. You're going to go Smethwick?
I'll go Smethwick,
Cool.
yeah.
Right, there we go. 3-2.
Let's not call you Ivan Tony.
Come on, guys. We don't want people calling us biased, do we? That's the thing.
Hey, you always stick up for the clubs your mates play for on this podcast, mate. But I'm definitely not going for Bridgenorth. So I've got to go with Shrewsbury.
And on that bombshell, we'll move
I
ourselves
was
on
really nice this year, not last pod.
And on that bombshell, we'll move ourselves on to Division 2. Okay, so in Division 2, we start off with local derby, Bridgenorth versus Worfield.
Big game.
Bromsgrove versus Leamington. New side, Coventry and North Warwickshire welcome Lichfield. Harborne face Himley. Tamworth, newly promoted, welcome Dorridge. And West Bromwich Dartmouth welcome Shifnal.
Easy. So
okay.
Okay. So, where else to start? But Sam, are you looking forward to Bridgnorth versus Worfield?
yeah, really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to refreshing play cricket every few minutes when I'm away in Lisbon. But yes, I think there's been a lot of change at Bridgnorth. We've lost a lot of big players. Big Daddy Dave, it's like losing 2 players, not because he's big, but because he's
T-Spot's the change of him. I love Dave Spot,
and he does listen, but because he backed any bowls. Mike Hill, massive cricketer to lose. Adam Quiney, gone the other way to Worfield, but he's not playing the start of the season through injury.
Isn't he? Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not too sure what their side's going to be like. I know that they play Whitchurch in a friendly this weekend, and they got rolled for 81, but that can happen in a friendly first game. Pitch.
The first week of April.
Don't know what the pitch might have been like, but yeah. So we're missing obviously a couple of players, but you don't need spinners in April, do you? So don't need me, don't need the Withers Wonder. We're both missing. But yeah, and there is a big announcement coming very soon about a new signing at Bridgnorth. International bowler has signed.
From where?
Where?
What country?
What country?
Big cricketing nation and looking forward to getting some new followers on the pod from Italy. We have signed the Italian opening bowler.
Ciao, buongiorno to our new Italian listeners.
Jaspreet Singh, who he's come to a couple of nets pre-season, and I'm not going to say too much, but very handy. Very handy.
I can feel a section coming on throughout the season.
Knows what he's doing.
Jaspreet Singh Italy.
Yeah. But actually quite excited about the new guys coming in, and the new Semo as captain, he's young, but he's played a lot of cricket. He's got a good brain on him, and he, I think he's going to step up this year, and you're going to see a massive season from him, and hopefully from the likes of Ryan as well, who's obviously. For some reason, we announced that he's become Bridgnorth's vice captain. I don't think I've ever seen that by a club before, but that was Ryan that wrote that. So,
sponsored by Doritos.
So, I think a big season could be coming from the 2 guys who are leading the side, and yeah.
Do you think the vice captaincy will have a positive impact on lockers this year?
I hope so. I really do hope so. I mean, he's not a spring chicken anymore. He's 30 now. 2 kids, and I think he needs to take a bit of responsibility for his cricket.
30 and over there.
Thanks very much, Sam.
It's not great for all of us on the podcast.
Sorry,
Andy, you're older than me. Will,
you're in your prime.
You're younger.
Why are you going to announce how old you are on the
Snuts? No.
We need some youth. We need some youth on here, don't we? Sorry.
Anyway,
sorry. Just remember what we said before. He hasn't got a DBS, so we can't have any youth on the podcast. You've got to go for older boys. Just remember that. Okay?
We are all old, aren't we? I never realised that before.
Yeah, we are all old. Yeah.
And we're doing a podcast. That's quite modern.
I have to wake. I have to wake up for 2 pisses in the night. It's probably the alcohol I drink too much.
Probably that.
Worfield have said that we do need to drink more alcohol on the pod. So.
Oh yeah, we did get a message.
I'm really getting through these gin and better lemons.
Yeah, we did actually get a review of the podcast from a certain site, and they said that we need to go back to the old days where we used to drink beers and slag off everyone under the sun.
In the Shropshire one, it's the opposite, to be fair. We get told to stop drinking.
Stop drinking and stop slagging everyone off.
Yeah.
This is more of a professional outfit, this one.
On Worfield, I'm not sure what the pitch is going to be like at Bridgnorth. I know it is very, very soft there, and with the rain coming this week, it's going to be very difficult to get a pitch up. But I think like you said, Ben Parker running on a soft green top could be very, very difficult. So, and they've got a South African opening bowler as well, who I imagine is quite sharp. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a close game, and it's always quite hard fought between us and Worfield, the noisy neighbours. So, yeah. Could be an interesting one. Don't ask Andy who's going to win, because he's going to go for Worfield.
Andy, who's going to win?
I'll save that to the end.
Well, I'm asking you now. Who's going to win? Who's going to win?
It's not how it works.
It's not how it works, mate. We're going round.
What, like at the end of the podcast?
I'll tell you.
It's like one of those.
On Sunday.
It's like one of those videos.
Everyone
They go, "Ooh, swipe to the end to find out what happens."
Yeah.
Or wait.
Well, I thought you asked you didn't ask Whitley. I was like, yeah, okay. I'm gonna go with Bridgenorth because of my mate sat here next to me. Look
there
after
we
him,
go.
mate. Look
There we
after
go.
him.
Well, he's not even playing, so you're not looking after your mate.
Actually, no, I take it back. Worfield.
Will?
Bridgenorth.
Sam?
Just Brit Pfeiffer.
Locker's got 150 in his first game a couple of years ago, so that'll be all.
Didn't
So
he?
that'll be
It was
all.
him, wasn't it?
Yeah, and 200 for the
well.
season. So
Him and Lad did well.
Yeah, that season went well for Oswestry.
Sam?
I've obviously got to go with my team, Bridgenorth.
Well, after Sam said 30s over the hill, then definitely Worfield are going to win.
There we go. So moving
say
ourselves.
40.
I'm closer to 40, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there you go.
You're in your prime, mate.
So moving on to the next game, Bromsgrove welcome Leamington. Now Bromsgrove, from everything I've heard, are struggling to get their pitch together, but they've had quite like we were saying earlier, I think they've had a lot of their members and supporters and all that down the ground and just trying to mow the bits which are a bit more damp in the hope that they can possibly get a game on. But in the chance that they do get a game on, facing Leamington, someone who would we say that they're early favourites? I mean,
your best mates of all of them now. Aren't you?
Buy me a pint, I'm your mate.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. Andy?
I think it's. Yeah. I think it's quite.
Why do you think Andy's on all these podcasts?
It's his mate in the car with him. That's who buys him all the pints. No, to be honest, I think it's going to be a really good game. I don't know what
He's the one who drives me as
the
well.
one who drives me, chauffeur. I don't know if Bromsgrove have had a pre-season game, but I think the game that Leamington have played obviously gives them a massive advantage. I think they'll want to obviously kick on from last season, get back up. So I wouldn't be surprised if Leamington go out all guns blazing. And but Bromsgrove they've signed quite well, and obviously if is it Josh Tongs playing? Is it Josh? Isn't it?
He'll be playing for Worcester, mate.
Well, if he's not playing for Worcester, you never know. But
And if he's not playing for Worcester, it's because he's resting.
all right.
And if he's rested, he ain't playing for Brom.
But I expect that to be a good game. It's one of the standout fixtures, I think, to be honest.
Whitney?
Yeah, I'll probably go Leamington just because they've had a run out and look quite a strong side. And Bromsgrove, I think quite a lot of new players might take a little bit of time to gel. So, but Gaz Williams on a green top.
Oh yeah, quality.
yeah, fair enough.
I fancy
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, nor would I.
Josh isn't probably going to play. Am I right in saying he picked up a deal? Didn't he get picked in the 100?
I imagine he probably
He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
I watched.
so.
Interesting
you
story.
watch the-
I watched the draft in the bath. Yes. It's my first. I do before I make the
That
next
is
comment.
a
Not with
lovely
Gaz.
sight for all of our
I do
listeners.
shower all the time, but that's my first bath in over 3 years. But I'd shower all the time, just so you know.
Bath bombs and all that.
I wasn't feeling very well, so I thought I'd treat myself to a bath. So I did, and
Clear
I watched the
ba-
draft. And I'm pretty sure he
Clear
got picked
bath,
up.
bubbles. What
It was clear, which is like it's like a jacuzzi without the bubbles. It's weird.
yeah. Let's all just have a shower in that case.
I really thought you'd be a bath guy.
Really?
I don't know why.
I just think it's a waste of water.
I've just pictured it a few times.
Although these days it
Sam's a bath bomb kind of guy. I bet you got a
100%. Me and
smorgasbord
me
of
and
them
Otis
upstairs.
in the bath.
Oh,
Well,
bless
if you remember my physique from a few years ago, I only had to put a couple of inches of water in the bottom, and that would have been enough.
To be fair, you did. I said last time you come here, last time I did a podcast in this place, you came in and you just your boxers on. I was thinking, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah, it was hot.
You love it, didn't you?
It's really warm.
Go back to our Instagram if you want to see that
Yeah.
on video. So the next game is Coventry and North Warwickshire, newly promoted against last season's newly promoted side, and well, the side who did so well, Lichfield. Don't all jump in at once, Sam. Great, searing insight once again from the Cow Corner podcast. Cheers, chef.
Suck on my chocolate salty balls.
Hey, children!
Otis there going at his chutney. Yeah.
Anyway, from the chef to the Le Beef.
Don't know a lot about Coventry and North Warwickshire, so I think it's going to be an interesting first week. I'm obviously looking forward to seeing how both them and Tamworth get on. Lichfield trying to follow on from a great season they had last year. They did really have a great season, so I would have to put my money, if I was going to put it on anyone, on Lichfield after last season. But going away to a new club, you don't know what you're going to get, do you?
Never know. You never know. Then next game, Harborne versus Himley. Middle of the road derby.
It's a hard one that to call, isn't it?
Middle of the road derby.
Harborne,
Harborne
decent
as
at
well.
home. Good team at home.
They should
now.
get a game on at Harborne, I would have thought.
I'd have
wouldn't
thought so,
they?
yeah.
Good pitch at Harborne.
Yeah, it is.
It's
isn't it?
very flat.
Yeah.
It's a nice place to go and back, that is. In the middle of end of July. Oh, tell me more.
Beautiful. It is.
Oh,
It is very good pitch.
well.
Grace.
Fine. Suts.
Yeah, our young lads had a friendly game against Harborne on Sunday, actually. And the pitch there was in April, after all the rain we'd had, was probably better than most places in June and July. It was an absolute
There you go. Back to
high
Sutton
quality.
Headsets. Thank you.
high quality wicket. Obviously, yeah, like you say, very, very small in terms of a lot of runs being scored. Our young lads scored 306 in 40 odd overs and did really well. So it was kind of, I don't think they had their full first team out, Harborne, but I would have thought they'd get a game going. And yeah, from my point of view as a coach, it was kind of very good to watch that kind of high quality pitch. If we can have those sorts of pitches throughout the league, we're going to see some seriously good cricket being played. So I'm going to go for Harborne on that one. I think they'll get an early win.
Okay, Whitney.
Harborne.
Sam.
Sam. I'm not.
Same guy.
I'm not the chef.
Beef.
I'm going to go Harborne as well.
Will.
Himley had a good end to the season. I'll go Himley.
Fantastic. And the next game, Tamworth, another newly promoted side and friends of Sam Whitney on Twitter. Face Dorridge, a side that we always talk about being a side. If they put it together, they could give it a good go. So Sam is talking about, we may as well talk about your best mates.
I think Tamworth will do quite well, and I think they'll come off. They'll come out firing. Start the season at home. I think they'll be really bang up for it. So, and you know, bit of like high banter on Twitter. Yeah, I like it. And I hope Stu plays. I hope he plays and bats top six, because I reckon he'll probably score a lot of runs again this season, because he's been a quality player. But I'm not trying to brown nose anyone, but
Wasn't what you were saying off the pod, mate.
oh, don't say things like that. I get on really well.
That's what Beef says all the time to me.
Drop me in it, mate.
Where's that prick? We went for a light jog today.
How much?
Is that how you describe it?
Friendly jog.
How much did you walk?
Flash walk.
I was blowing out of my arse. Absolutely. The Shifnal lads will like the fact that I've gone out for a run.
With me.
And now I followed that up with a curry and a cobra.
Yeah.
Classic.
I'm going to go for
All about
Tamworth.
balance.
Going to go for Tamworth on that one. Yeah.
Beef.
I've got to be honest. I've heard quite a few good things from cricketers around the.
And I hope
Birmingham League about-
they video the song as well. I hope
Oh.
they send it in.
Send it
Go
in.
on.
Yeah, that'd be good actually.
Send it
Can they
in.
send it into the
Send
pod?
it
So we
in.
can,
Like
hear
Newcastle
it?
with that picture
Cow Corner
every
Podcast
week.
at gmail.com.
That'd be
If
class.
you've got any footage that you want to send us, on or off the pitch, feel free to send it in, preferably on. Cow Corner Podcast at gmail.com.
Again, you have to be over 18 because of James just to send videos.
Personally,
Right, okay. This is genuinely a joke though, because there will be some people who won't realise.
No, that's fine. I'm massive on the communal showers. So if you have any good examples of communal showers, I'm not a big cubicle fan. I'll be honest with you. I like it all out in the open.
Please do not send.
Bridge North. Do you like Bridge
Bridge
North?
North is perfect.
Yeah,
It's
it's
perfect. You get both sides in there. Bring them all in. Come on.
To be honest, Will, I thought you'd be like quite a difficult height. To be honest with you, mate. I bet there's a few people in
Don't
the
know what to
league
look
that
at.
accidentally give you a slap round the head.
Again, communal showers.
I thought you might be a
There's
communal
a reason they
bath
call
kind
him
of guy.
Daddy Dave.
Communal bath. Yeah.
When they all say they give you chin music through the season, they're not talking about on the pitch. It's in the shower.
Was that Men in Black who was a ball of your chin, wasn't he, or something like that? Got to kick him in the nuts over and over again, but his balls were on his chin. Tamworth.
I'm going to go Tamworth as well.
I'll only go Tamworth because there's something about sides that get promoted. It doesn't matter what sport it is. You look at the Premier League, the side that comes up always finishes like mid-table and does quite well.
Yeah.
So I think
Really
the same goes for cricket sides.
Yeah, and also
Communal bath, like such said.
no
You
communal.
and Gaz Andrew.
Oh,
I love the fact that we're trying to get good content for the pod that we can share about, and we can also use as video content on the podcast. You boys just want people to send in their cock.
make sure it's really grainy. Bad lighting.
God. Oh my God.
Don't grow your tash anymore, but you're like a 60s porn star. Perfect.
Oh my God. Anyway,
There's one I look like the most as well.
so
Old Ron, our mate Ron.
final game in Division 2 for this week is West Bromwich Dartmouth versus Shifnal, and no better place to start than with B.
Yeah, a game I'm very, very much looking forward to. Two sides that I think in the last pod we tipped to be both up the top half of the table. Obviously, I'm backing my side, but Sam, you said fourth, mate. All right.
I said fifth, thank
Oh,
you.
did you say fifth? I made a change. Got on.
I said fifth, and you'd be happy with it as well.
Nice to see you off the fence, mate. But no, it's going to be a very highly competitive game. I'm not really sure. Obviously, I went to West Brom last year, but I was injured. I went to watch. I'm not sure what the pitch is like drainage-wise. I would have thought it'd be quite good, actually.
I don't think it. I think it will be wet.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry to say.
Yeah. So I don't know what the situation is going to be, but hopefully we can get out there Saturday and put in a really good start, and that's what we need. It's what we want. So, but it's going to be a highly competitive game because I've heard a lot of things that West Brom have signed very well. So it's going to be a very, very competitive game.
Fantastic.
Rumours of a certain Mitch Stanley playing.
Oh, yeah.
I will not tell you anything.
So
Because you can.
Remember-
Remember the prediction?
remember what we said if Mitch Stanley's playing?
What did we say?
You won't be.
Where am I playing then?
Beef will
You're
be
doing the
walking.
ground. You're doing the ground. You're doing the ground at Shifnal.
Ain't going to do me any good.
Beef will be coming round with me, filming all the games.
I'll be filming you driving.
I ain't buying you a pint though.
Fantastic.
They made a lot of
Sam?
signings again, they didn't they, West Brom? So they got Shaz back, Shaz, and he's a good bowler, and he'll whack a few at the end. I've always rated Shaz.
Yeah.
Bit
So
of
I think
Joe.
West
Yes.
Bromwich were one of our sides that we thought may do well.
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
Definitely.
with the signings they brought in so quickly around the group. Sam?
Yeah, I think this is going to be quite close game, to be honest. I don't know who's available for Shifnal. I know you had quite a few missing last week, so I don't want to sit on the fence.
But
And because my mate's next to me, and because I was a bit harsh on them last week, I'm going to say Shifnal.
I was hoping you'd say West Bromwich. That would have been hilarious.
Oh no, I'm
Anyway,
sorry.
you bottled it last minute. I saw it in your eyes.
I really want to.
No,
No,
I
Shifnal, I think.
I would generally go Shifnal as well, because if you're saying you were missing a few last week and you put the Div 1 champions to a really close game, I think you've got to be
Close game.
Close game? Is that what we
pretty
call
close,
it?
wasn't it?
They knocked it off in 16 overs.
Yeah, close game.
Yeah, if it was a 2020, yeah, it was a close game. Yeah.
Yeah. Just read it the other way around. You back first.
That it's cobwebs off. That's what.
Yeah, I reckon you might do it.
I hope so. Yeah.
That's not a genuine decision.
Suts.
I just reckon.
I'm going to have to go with Beef's Shifnal. I can't let him down and say West Brom. So, yeah, definitely Shifnal.
Good lads.
The listeners are going to be tough. I'm going to go West Brom.
Yeah,
Because
that's
just for the, I'm going to go. I know you're sitting right there and you're looking at me, giving me daggers. But this is for the listeners.
This is for listeners.
We can't all just say the teams on the podcast.
People start being saying, "Oh, you know, you
I
only pick
know,
the
I
teams
know.
for the
I'm giving
podcast."
you-
That's
I'm
all.
giving you
That's
the-
all we'll be getting. So I'm going to go West Brom
I'm
too.
giving you the evil eyes, mate, and you're looking at me like something in a shower. It's just
Fuck all of the teams that we play for on this podcast.
We can't. We can't.
definitely
keep
not going
doing that. We can't
Rolberberry.
keep doing that. We can't keep doing that.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Overstepped a line. There are things you can and cannot say on this pod. Anyway, on that note, we'll move ourselves on to our final section.
I didn't mean it.
So as we move ourselves on to the final section, I hope you've all enjoyed this. And the first of our bi-weekly shows. So our next one, we will be recording it not next week, but the week after, which will be the 24th of April, which will come out on the 26th. So again, if you want to give us your opinion, feel free to share your voice notes, videos, or notes either on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, in our DMs, or email us at cowcornerpodcast@gmail.com. Any voice notes will be shared live on the podcast. Any videos will also be shared on the video version of the podcast, and any emails or any just DMs or any comments will be shared by ourselves. We will mention them. But yeah, please give us a like and a subscribe, and if you like it, review. Give us a 5-star review. If you don't like it,
Give
please
us a 5-star review.
you give us a 5-star review. Say hot mess. But yeah, and make sure you give us a like and a follow on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We have got loads of really great announcements and stuff coming up, so please do not miss them. And we do various different things across the different platforms, so make sure that you get on all of them so that you don't miss out on anything. Anyway, thank you very much, guys, and thank you very much, Suts, for waiting so long. It was technical difficulties and a very good curry, which meant that we were very late to this one. So cheers, mate, for waiting along.
No worries.
Fantastic, Sam. thank you very much for hosting, and thank you very much for an exceptional curry, the chef.
Not a problem, and just really glad to get a nickname. So.
Now you got to live up to it.
Yeah,
though. No,
thank
next
you.
time we're here.
Yeah, next
What
time.
were we expecting?
next week,
Every
innit?
time.
Weekly.
Beef Wellington.
Every time you turn up, I turn up.
Could see some good shouts at Bridge North. Oh, what's he cooking? All that
Oh,
stuff.
no.
Could be a
Come on,
walk
Sam,
if the
cook up
smell-
what the Whitney
What the
is
chef is cooking.
Da-na-na-na-na.
Tossing up some pies.
All right, enough of the tossing.
Nothing about-
Right.
Nothing about my cricket.
Yeah, I love it, mate. Love it.
And he was saying, I don't have a DBS. Anyway, and Beef, thank you very much. And as we mentioned, we're going to bring it up on the next podcast when Ozzy's here, that, you know, we do need to start the propaganda again and get people knowing about this Birmingham League ton, because I don't think the Birmingham League audience know quite how magnificent it was and how much they've missed out and how it is the greatest Birmingham League ton. So we need to start spreading the gospel.
Fact. Thank you for having me on early. It's been very good, and just make sure you get your DBS form, please. I think we should have written proof. To be honest,
I'm pretty sure I've got an email somewhere, which again I'll happily make sure I've got up for the next one.
Mine was renewed this week.
And thank you very much, Will.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
And
Just
once
down the road.
enjoy them showers.
I've got communal showers in my own house. Don't worry about it. You're all welcome anytime. Next pod live, Will show.
What are you going to cook up there, Sam? Jesus.
I got 2 shower heads, double headed.
Oh my god!
Whiplash one of these days.
You know what? Of all the reasons I thought this podcast would get cancelled, I don't think that it would be.
Didn't say anything bad. We're just promoting cleanliness and as a group form.
Anyway,
Group
and
cleanliness.
yeah, thank you very much to the listener for listening, and please make sure you like, follow, share, and subscribe. Yeah, and share it around. Let's get more people listening in. Thank you very
5 stars for the quality and 5 stars for the poor quality. So either way, you've got to mark it out of 5 for bad quality or out of 5 for good quality.
You know what? And if anyone gives us a 5-star review and leaves us a funny review that is actually good, like a positively funny review, we'll read out on the pod. How about that?
That's out.
As long as they're over 18, you can read it.
And if they're
Oh
recording
my
from the
God,
shower.
this is terrible, mate. I can't. I'm not even going
This
to.
is going to take some editing.
This is going to take serious editing. Anyway, I'll keep it all in. Until the next time, goodbye.
The Cold Corner Podcast.